going on, man? Come on in. You ready to play?
Somebody's getting glory.
That's what he says. That's what he says.
At the end of days, we're finally here.
According to you, that's the correct intro to use.
Well, I don't know if I would have used for glory, but
I'm using for glory.
Yeah.
Hello.
We can go with that.
There's no fun in Yu-Gi-Oh. It's glory.
No, it's about slinging
it's life
cards.
or death. All
yeah, because
right?
you get sent to the Shadow Realm if you lose.
Right?
I've sent motherfuckers at the locals like, you're gone.
When you yell at a child about them having a fourth-rate deck and being a third-rate user, that's for glory.
They gotta
right?
learn, yeah.
That's not for fun.
Today.
Did I get the numbers right?
Yeah.
Okay, cool. Good. All right, cool. All right.
Yeah, I see you like pulling as much information as you can from like the ether of like stuff you've just heard passingly.
Spit the memes back out. Put on a a Long Island accent.
Exactly.
And there you go.
Yeah. Pot of Greed. What does Pot of Greed
Pot
do?
of Greed. Rip Big Puss. Thank you very much. Appreciate you getting in there immediately. Boy, if you got a gift from Rip Big Puss, then please say thank you. Appreciate that. I was about to say, like, where's Octopimp when you need him?
True.
To just put on some of those voices and get the whole bit going. Fox, Cade, welcome to Montreal.
Hey.
Happy to have you.
Having fun?
Thank you. I'm having a blast.
Yeah.
I honestly, for those of you in chat don't know, I recently moved to Montreal, and amazing city. I couldn't be happier with this move.
I'm glad you are enjoying it, and to celebrate, what the fuck are we doing here today?
So after I moved here, there was the conversation of like, oh, if you ever want to come on stream, what would you want to bring? And I was hit with the realization of like, most things that I would want to show are stuff that either you already know about or stuff that I might have just picked up from you over the years. So I was kind of at an impasse of just like, well, I can't really show Devil May Cry or Yakuza or any of the like indie games that I might know. So I was kind of like,
not gonna watch the Yakuza TV show.
Yeah, yeah, exactly. And then I distinctly remember just going like, I could teach you Yu-Gi-Oh! And I just tossed it out as like just a half-hearted like, funny, haha. And then Wooly paused for a moment and went, sure. And that was funny enough, the same reaction I got from the other game I suggested that we're going to be going to later.
Well, I believe I gave the second one a why not.
Yeah, why not?
Right?
Yeah, that's always the reaction
a bit
you
more
get
spice on top of the reaction.
from recommendations.
Yeah.
Got it.
And you know, Reggie knows me well at this point, so you can understand that when these decisions are made, it's real simple. It's to quiet this.
Yes.
Yeah. It's to give this a little something to then just fucking.
Also, I am going to direct at the chat. I have been getting your messages. I've been hearing your cries.
Oh boy.
Calm down.
You got this?
You calm down, because a lot of you seem to be under the impression I am training these two gentlemen to start taking down locals and going to regionals. Lower that bar of expectation.
Can you give us your best STFU?
Shut the fuck up.
There we go. Hey.
Yeah. There you go.
Yeah,
if it has to go into the outro reel, you got to look right into camera one, right over there, and you got to go chat. Shut the fuck up. Right. I got this. I know what I'm doing, etc.
We just want to
and then
teach
proceed to
the
not
guys
got this.
Some cool stuff. Show some cool cards, maybe a few interactions, and then later on, they're going to have a little duel together. They're going to test what they learned from this experience.
Oh, God.
And they're going to have their own little duel using some of the structure decks. I'm not teaching them extensive meta stuff other than cute little details. Don't get into it. Don't expect the world.
I only have one question.
Yes.
Fox.
Yes.
How do I get Vanquished Souls?
So you already heard about this. I was worried. Do you know why people were recommending it? Okay.
Yes, and I have it open over here. Yeah. How do I get my Vanquished Souls? Tell me where to go to buy the Vanquished Souls pack.
Do you actually want me to show you? I can show you.
I'm sure we'll get.
We'll
there.
get to it.
I'm
We
sure
will
we'll
get to
there.
it. But yes, I knew you heard about it.
Of course, I heard about it. I had no say in the matter.
All of you would not calm down.
I have no say.
You seem to think that I don't know that that's what I was going to start with. You seem to be under the impression I don't know ball. I know ball.
Do you have Vanquish Souls?
I have Vanquish Souls.
Okay.
That's one of my favorite decks. So
All right.
when I saw people recommending that's like, don't worry, I got this.
Okay. All right.
Yeah.
So then, shall we?
I like how
Start?
Moobot is doing overtime right now.
It's it's cooking. It's
Yeah.
moving.
Where is Blue Eyes White Power Tech? Just fucking
Hey.
My deck I've already called is Red Eyes Black Power. Thank you
Hell
very
yeah.
much. Super Volteca, how you doing? Thanks. Thanks for the quick one. Shout out to Rata, rank 10 YGO, for making some of the best Yu-Gi-Oh videos ever, even though his life will forever be reduced to its Morbin time. He hates the meme he accidentally created so much. It's probably the reason there's no support report this year. It's Morbin time came from a Yu-Gi-Oh
Yes.
thing.
Wow.
Really?
He was the person who did that, as well as he's the one that made the whole joke of what does Pot of Greed do prolific?
Ah, okay. But not he's starting to morb. He's starting to morb is somewhat.
He was the one who made that tweet that was like, "Oh, I love the movie. I loved when Morbius said it's Morbin time," and then that picked up. He was like patient zero on that.
Okay.
Yeah.
Stand back. I'm beginning to morb was the other one. Okay.
Yeah.
All right. Gotcha. Major Crasher. It's time to gamble.
Yeah.
Yeah. Pat tells me that the way to play is by punching myself in the dick continuously. Is there any truth to this?
In the same way that learning fighting games is.
Wow.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Like
By
that's the thing
attention.
a lot of people struggle with getting into this game is like, oh, I gotta lose. I don't immediately start winning. I have to learn the game and like how the play is done.
I mean,
it's like, yeah, you're jumping into ranked and probably playing against someone who has hours more experience than you.
so there's been this
Probably will win.
there's been this ongoing tense conversation where like people have different reasons for getting into and checking things out, certainly, but for me, I'm like, if I don't know anything about shit and the first thing I want to know is the meta before I even know where the fun is, like I'm like, that's a backwards priority for me.
No, that's valid. That's valid. I started playing this game like, little Jimmy. I was like, I like Blue Eyes. A lot of people start there.
Nice.
But then it's either you crash out because that's not working, or you go, okay, I'm losing a lot. How do I fix this? What do I start making?
Which
plays?
deck do I have to pay for?
Yeah,
Right. So then you break my heart and tell me that the guy with the big fists from the Vanquish Souls deck is actually a bad card or some shit, and you shouldn't be using
get
it.
to that.
And then I go, well, then why am I even playing this game?
We'll get to that. We'll get to that.
Yeah, all right. KYH9, how you doing? This is the next stream, but please pull Agnes Tachyon. She's my favorite horse.
That won't
Favorite
be hard. That
haunts.
won't be hard, but valid. You're real. You're real.
Mothman Kisser 69, how you doing? If you end up digging this and have patience for emulation, I highly recommend Duelists of the Roses. It's super fun, a super fun little spin-off Yu-Gi-Oh game for the PS2. All right, well,
That's a recommendation.
just hey, all in due time.
Yeah.
And by in due time, I mean let's just look at what's in front of us and let's taste some cheeses. And let's see what happens.
That is a wild recommendation.
Gotcha.
Though, is like, hey, if you like the card game, let me recommend you something that does not play the card game.
I understand that thought association
Yeah.
can bring us from one topic to
Yeah.
another, but let's just look at what's in front of us. Trey, what you got for us? Not gonna lie, haven't looked forward to a stream more than this one. Oh
Come
my
on,
God.
bro.
What's
Oh
good,
my
Trey? How
God.
you doing? How
I'm
you
here for you
doing?
guys.
Yeah. Reggie, let us in. How you feeling?
I got a bit of Yu-Gi-Oh. I've read the manga, so like playing a card game.
You read the manga.
I read before GX, I guess.
Yeah, like the original series.
I remember
Okay.
some of it, most of it,
Okay.
and I know that Yugi is a psycho. And that's
Yeah.
all I need to know, really.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Yeah, because I was under the impression both of you were basically blank slates outside of the osmosis of culture.
There is the osmosis of culture. However, Reggie has brought up on a couple occasions how violent the pre-card game manga was, and people getting lit on fire and shot with guns.
Before it was a card game, the original creator of the series just wanted to make a thing about like just games, games, period. And it was just the main character basically playing games of death with people that were bad people.
Right.
And it would just be like, oh, if you move your arm, the lighter on your shoulder is going to like ignite the vodka on the table type stuff. And eventually he made what would become Yu-Gi-Oh! Duel Monsters. And then fans were like, that's cool.
Yeah.
We want more of that.
Yeah.
And the publisher was like, do more of that.
Yeah.
And then that's why the first few years of Yu-Gi-Oh! Feel less like a game and more like a tabletop, like D&D session, because it was made on the fly. He did not come in with like the design structure of how this would be playable.
You accidentally introduced the thing that would dominate and become stands. Hey, guess what? Guess what this whole story is about now?
Yeah.
What if you could sell stands as a marketing aspect?
And then slowly the game evolved out from that, but the original core was very much like, oh, I just came up with a reference to Magic the Gathering in my manga. And that was the entire thought behind it.
KYH9, getting into Yu-Gi-Oh! Isn't as bad as trying to get back into Yu-Gi-Oh! Someone once tried to explain synchro shit to me, and I tried to stone them to death. I chased them out of town with pitchforks and torches. Don't make me uncomfortable like that.
Yeah, you have no preconceived notions of what you think the game should be, because a lot of the people that this is referring to, they played Street Fighter 1 in the arcades, and now they're seeing Marvel vs. Capcom 3, and they think it's witchcraft. Yeah, original Yu-Gi-Oh! Is Street Fighter 1. It's like, yeah, this is cute, but...
That's great. Boy, do I understand that immediately. Nicely
I
done.
knew you'd appreciate that, because everyone always references Marvel for, like, modern game. It's like, we can extend this further.
Get the fuck out. Giant Bomb, thank you so much.
Hey!
Appreciate y'all. How you doing? Welcome aboard, everybody. You're right on time.
Oh, boy.
You're right on time. Welcome to the stream. An excellent time to tune in. What the fuck is a Yu-Gi-Oh?
Well, why don't we find out?
Let's find out. All right.
Do you know what time it is?
Oh, God. Is
boy.
it time?
Is it time to...
What's...
It's
It's 3:30.
It's 3:37. All right. Oh, not soy 7. I'll be waiting for the eventual upgrades from the digital cardboard crack to plastic crack. I see. Digital to cardboard to plastic.
I'm trying to understand what they mean. Oh, like plastic figures. Okay.
Okay. Okay. All right. Let's switch over, shall we? And Reggie, let's hit that button.
Oh, boy.
All right.
Here we are.
Here we are.
Fight for your life.
Yeah. So, for starters, I think we're going to do just a little bit of the tutorials just to make sure you both are kind of in the understanding of what the game is on the most base level.
Yes. So the anime was coming out when I was like getting a little older. It was kind of coming out. I remember it was coming on after stuff I wanted to see on YTV at the time or so. But we have prepared on our own phones over here. Reggie has his account and I have my own, and we've done the basic tutorial. But
yeah, you've done like these ones, I'm pretty sure. So I think.
But by all means, guide the hips and Sherpa us into the situation.
Ooh la la.
Does the world of the anime and the world of the card, is this taking place in the world of the card lore, or is it the world of the anime where people are playing outside of the lore?
More the former.
Okay.
There is like card lore, but they also kind of exist separately from each other.
Okay.
But there is some interaction.
So there's a mix. Okay.
Yeah, there's a little bit of a mix.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
So by phase. Main phase 1. End phase.
Yeah. So yeah, your opponent just like play
Summon
their
the monster.
And hey,
can't attack on the first turn.
Yeah.
And you know, I spent one season reaching top 10 players in the world in Tekken. So I'll have you know.
You know game.
I've played a card game.
Yeah. So yeah, with
Not
monsters,
really a
you
card
can
game.
either summon them or set them.
Okay, so turning sideways.
Yeah.
What does that do?
So that means they're in defense position. You cannot summon a monster. You can't normal summon a monster in defense position. It either has to be in attack position like they are, or if you want them in defense position, you have to put them face down. So that can really change how you play certain cards.
But what is...
If they're in defense position, that means you use like their defense position here, like a 2100. That's their defense points. If they attack, they're using their attack points against your defense points. If they're both in attack position, then you're using their attack points against each other.
Okay.
So if you put a card face down sideways, you're going to have extra defensive points?
No,
No, it's not extra, it's the
flat
defense.
It's just defensing, and the card does or its abilities or all that are irrelevant because it's just
Because
a
it's
wall.
face down. It is just a card that is face down.
Okay, not in play necessarily. Gotcha.
Yeah. Also, I'll say this just so the chat doesn't end up freaking out about certain things. Every rule I present you, know that there is probably some exception out there in the card.
I see.
Like there is a card that will be like, if you attack a defense position monster and your attack is higher, you do piercing damage. And piercing damage means it goes through, where typically if a defense position monster is destroyed, you don't receive any damage.
All right,
So if you're into defensive position, you would play stuff down with that.
In the tutorial, it didn't matter where you summoned, what box you summoned the monster to. It just attacked what was in front regardless.
Yeah.
Is that the case?
In terms of attacking, the
Position doesn't
boxes
matter?
do not matter.
Okay.
The boxes and where you place them matter in certain contexts, but not on a base level.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right, end phase.
Yeah.
Turn change. Draw phase.
Oh yeah, there's
Sandbox.
main phase 1, and then there's an optional main phase 2 that was on that
if you
list.
do your battle phase and you go, okay, I didn't kill my opponent and I want to make some secondary actions before I end the turn, you can do that.
But it's not every time. There's something to do.
Yeah, sometimes you just go battle phase, and then you just go right to end phase because you're like, well, that was my turn.
Okay.
So yeah, they're gonna try to attack. My guy has less, and they kill themselves basically.
Wow.
The ideal attack for a monster is anything above like 1800. Anything lower, and you don't want to just like swing wildly because it's probably gonna get killed.
The excess always turns into damage, right?
Yeah. For them, if they're attacking your attack position, then you take the damage. It very much depends on if they're in attack or defense.
Oh.
Because like what they did, they attacked me while my monster was in defense. My defense was higher. They take the damage.
Their player?
Yeah, the player. Like their life points.
Oh, so if you tank the entirety of their attack,
Yeah.
like
The
card blows up and the surplus defense points
Attacks the player
doesn't
hurt the
directly.
player that attacked?
It doesn't blow up, but they do take the surplus damage.
Oh, but only in defense mode.
But only in defense mode. If they were attacking an attack position monster,
Yes.
then it would blow up because then they are battling.
Okay.
But if they're attacking something in defense position, it's
the
just
card, but the card doesn't blow
it's
up.
just a wall. Yeah,
Okay.
exactly. It's like you're hitting me while I have my guard up.
Okay, and
it's-
if the attacker hits another attack position card,
Yeah.
and the attacker beats it, does the excess goes to
You.
you that's getting hit?
Yeah.
And then if it's the other way around,
Then it would be them.
okay, so the card in attack position that has higher that the other attack fails to destroy,
Yeah.
the excess from this attack card will hit the
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, so you're at risk for taking
big-
damage
big
on
number
no matter what.
will matter.
Okay.
When you're in combat, the game has evolved in such a way that a lot of the time the battle phase is a like almost irrelevant. Like you kind of know where each player is at before you reach that point, but it does still come up frequently.
Okay.
But the game has very much evolved past this because this is very much like how the game was played in its origins, like when it first started. Of like, you play monster, I play monster, I attack you. Now there's like combo. In the
Okay.
same way that's like Street Fighter 1, you have like punch, kick, and then it's like, oh, you have like X Factor, tag team assists, all that other stuff. So,
okay, so in the tutorial as well, there was like, the monster cards, and then there was trap cards.
Yes.
You triggered my trap card,
Yeah.
whatever. What, I guess the question is, what other types, in a vaguest sense, are there? And like, what does the distribution in your deck kind of look like?
It's just monster, spell, trap in the broad,
Broad sense, yeah, perfect, yeah.
And then there's different flavors of each. But in terms of how you want to compose your deck, ideal ratio
For Ryu, not for special cases, for a Ryu.
Is about 20 monsters and then however many traps and spells you want to, fuck with.
Gotcha.
Traps are an interesting thing in this game. Back in the day, they were really good, or they were like a core part of the game. The problem with them now is because you have to set them and then activate them afterwards, they're considered too slow.
Oh.
They're not proactive. So a lot of players tend to devalue them when they're building a deck.
Okay.
They usually put like 2 or 3, and then most of it is like spells and monsters.
Okay. Let me turn you up a little bit louder. One second.
All good? How's that sounding, guys?
Sounds good.
Just a tad bit. Okay.
Okay. So, what's the difference between what you can do on the pre-battle phase one and then the post-battle phase?
Honestly, they're the same thing. Like, they both do the same stuff. There's not really anything you're locked out of in the second one.
Okay.
You're just basically making most of your plays in main phase 1 because that's your preposition to going into
the battle
phase. And then the main phase 2 is usually like, okay, I'm going to set some cards for later.
Okay.
And then going from there.
Gotcha.
But yeah, like in the tutorial here, like you're setting a trap that destroys a spell. They have a spell that gives them more attack. So you're basically setting up a situation where they're going to walk into you and kill themselves.
Turn change, draw phase. Activating an equip spell card.
Yeah. So there's equip spells and there's field spells.
Field spells.
Yeah.
Is the back line all...
It's like an artifact?
Yeah, backline is all spells and traps.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, is that like an artifact in Magic? Where you can attach things to a card or whatever? From
basically, field spells are like, I think there would be like enchantments,
right?
Where it's just like a effect that like just affects the entire field. Equips are like equipments.
Okay.
Yeah.
I played Magic once and got very confused, so that it's also not a reference point. FYI.
Yeah, I played with James the other day. I have like a very vague sense of Magic, but when I'm playing with friends, I always have to like understand the rules within the context of like, well, I play Yu-Gi-Oh, so does it work like this? And they go, no. And I was like, okay. I was like, as long as that's how I understand it. So.
Also, there was a Pokemon phase for a little bit.
Yeah.
But I still barely grasped that, to be honest.
I've not really played much of Pokemon since the old like Game Boy game. And it's still going, but it seems like people play it more collectively now.
You got your deck there. Their deck is there.
Yeah.
And then
this is the
graveyard.
It's just teaching basic stuff. So this is the extra deck. So you can see these cards like here. So these are all like your boss monsters. These are like the big guys that you want to get on the field.
You can put them in a separate deck.
They're separated, and then you can access them if you meet the requirements. Like this one you see here on the... for UI purposes, this is usually where like stuff comes up. This is where like the card you clicked on will give you information.
So the ones that said like at UG and SR, well, not SR. There was like little letter things that I saw
Right here, that's just the rarity, that little SR thing at the top.
Okay.
But if they have different colors like here, they're probably extra deck monsters.
So the of the 3 starting decks, there was the one that was like something of Unity.
Oh yes,
And
there was. I think it's like a synchro deck.
And it was at the bottom. It was like you're trying to get these like warriors.
Yes. Yeah.
And so
I think
that category
synchro,
of 5 at the bottom. Okay.
Yeah. So that is what these are, and they have different requirements.
Gotcha.
And then they usually say what their requirements are, like underneath here.
Okay.
So this is basically just teaching you.
And they have none.
They have none. Yeah, because this is just like a practice, like dummy thing.
You don't have to have those in your deck. You can play with them.
We'll do some like some of the solo mode stuff, just so I can like teach you what my decks can do, and you can gotta get a flavor of those.
Okay.
Yeah. But yeah, it's just basically this is just teaching you like how to use a spell card. You can set it if you want, and then just immediately activate it, or you can just activate it from hand. There's some times where you want to set something first, just so it's not in your hand at the time. Most of the time, you're just immediately going, I play this.
Okay, so bottom left is the extra special monster cards.
Yeah.
On the right, it's your deck
Main
to
deck,
draw.
yes. Yeah.
And then above that is the graveyard, and then the banished
Yes.
cards.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, you got that. Yeah. So yeah, as Ergy was saying, this is the graveyard. This is where all your stuff goes after it's been played or destroyed. And then there's the banished. This is like second dead. Yeah.
Because you can do stuff from your graveyard.
Yeah.
Yes,
Yeah,
exactly.
resurrect
If
things,
something's
yeah.
in the banished, much harder to get out. There are obviously exceptions, but
Oh, you
more
can
or
still
less,
get at
this
banished
is like-
cards in some cases.
Yeah, in some cases, but it's
That's
much
it.
harder.
Okay.
That's some Yugi shit.
Exactly. Yeah. The graveyard has basically become like purgatory, where it's like this is second hand. This is, stuff in purgatory.
Okay.
Is there any like questions? Is there any like?
It seems
that's-
like there's a huge difference between going first and going second
Yes.
in terms of like ability to put things down, expose what you're doing, and then just playing defensively.
Yeah. If you're going first, you're basically a lot of the time trying to set up a wall for your opponent to try to get over, and then if you're going second, usually it's like with the intent to try to do as much damage and get through their wall. So you're kind of playing based on which you're going first or second.
It's
a lot of the time.
which has like playing second seems like an advantage.
No.
Is it the
first
other way
is a big
around?
advantage.
Okay.
First means you get to most of the time do everything uninterrupted.
Okay.
Unless they have certain cards in hand. But they would have to have it like right open.
Okay.
Most of the time, this game's biggest problem that Konami's tried to fix is going first is a lot of the time ideal.
Okay. So you're not kind of stuck being reactive the whole game.
Exactly. So this one's going to teach you just like, yeah, there's a main phase and a second one where you can kind of do
In
stuff.
phase 1 to prepare attack. After the battle phase is over, move on to main phase 2 where you can prepare for your opponent's turn.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So that's what I saw
Trap
before,
cards.
but you could skip it in a lot of cases.
Yeah. You don't have to do it, but
Skill successor.
so this is going to show the if I remember this tutorial correctly, this is going to show why you don't just set stuff right off rip as soon as you get it. You want to do your battle phase first and then set anything that you want to like have down after.
What are the numbers besides 1600
The 0,
This is
and
your
the 3?
defense.
the 3 is their level.
Okay.
Level 4 and under, you can just summon it normally, like just what I did. Anything higher, you have to tribute a monster.
You have to kill something. You
put it
sacrifice
down.
something to put it down.
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
Tribute a monster.
Yeah.
Kinky.
Stop
So
it.
this guy had a set monster that has a flip effect, so it activates when it's flip face up after an attack. It would destroy a trap card if there was something on field, but I didn't set anything down.
Wait. Sorry. Okay. They put that monster down in
Yeah.
defensive position,
Yeah.
and then it got flipped.
Yeah. When you attack something that's face down, it has to flip up,
And expose what it is.
expose what it is, and sometimes they have triggers when they're flip face up because
Okay.
now they're active.
Even if they're alive or dead, or
Yes.
well, yeah, okay, okay.
Yeah. Some have triggers when they're flip face up. Some of them
Gotcha.
when they're dead.
Okay.
So yeah, if I would have just like proactively set this, it would have been destroyed.
Okay. Only monsters can be placed in, like, the front
zone.
defensive
Yeah.
or offensive
These
position
yeah.
there.
You can't really play around with the position of the spells and traps.
Are there ever, like, hybrid cards that are, like, a spell and a monster that you can option select what you want to do with it?
Yes. Yes.
As an exception?
Yes. No, not even an exception. That is a type of monster card. We are not acknowledging those.
All right.
They are a very divisive mechanic in the game.
Gotcha.
Yeah. I think I was telling you, it's like, if you play one of the structures, just don't look at the one that says Magician of Pendulum.
Okay.
What do you mean you can combo into a grab?
Yeah. What?
Pick one. Commit. Nah.
Oh,
Okay.
perfect. So I can. This is one where it's like, hey, just play one of your decks. So,
Wow.
can I just? So
Look at this
Now
guy.
I'm gonna get to show you Vanquish Souls. So,
So this is how this was presented to me through a series of artwork of cool fuckers like this guy.
yeah.
Raizen. And so Reggie, apparently the deal with this deck of cards is it's inspired heavily by Blaze Blue and fighting games.
I see.
And the characters jump in and are fighting game style, and they have a tag system by which you tag others in and tag others out.
Yeah.
And play fighting
You're
shit,
doing a lot of tag-ins.
which sounds phenomenally rad.
Okay.
This is like genuinely one of my favorite decks. I remember when this was announced and reading through it, and it's like, this just sounds fun. Like,
But if
even
that-
outside of the reference, this is fun.
Well, if that concept alone was one thing, this character looks super cool.
this is one of my favorite arts. Like, I
Therefore,
love this
yeah.
this design. It looks just rad as fuck.
Because I'm not. If it was kind of just like a big like silver dragon, but it's a fighting game deck, I'd be like, eh.
Yeah, whatever.
I kind of show
But
me
you
that.
got this guy. What you were asking about is like, oh, he's like bad to play. This is like a central pillar of the deck. This is like a guy you build the deck around, and you want this in your opening hand. You want to see him immediately, because on summon he grabs another Vanquish Soul, which means you're getting your like tag partner.
Your tag partner.
So you have them in rotation. And then the other thing that didn't get to you, because it's a little bit more obtuse in how you explain it, not only is there a tag system, all of the Vanquish Souls have two effects that trigger based on what type of monsters you reveal from your hand. Because you see at the top here, there's an attribute, fire.
There's high-res art decks you can install.
Yeah.
Jeez,
Yeah.
Okay. Wow.
So the top corner here, it says he's fire. 6 standard elements: fire, water, wind, earth, light, dark. So these cards have you reveal one from hand that meets the ones it's demanding. So this one says, if you reveal a fire, you can it just won't be destroyed by card effects this turn.
Okay.
If you reveal a fire and dark, you can destroy all other monsters in its column. So remember, we were talking about like some
position.
cards matter about position. Not always, but there's some exceptions.
Okay.
So fire and dark on the same card, right?
Yeah. No, on 2 cards. So you have to show
two cards.
So
Yeah, 2 cards.
okay. So you drop him, and it gives you the ability to reveal another fire card.
Yes.
And if you do, then this original card cannot be destroyed.
Yes.
And then, or if you reveal one that's fire and dark,
Then
get
you
the
can
other
destroy
thing.
all the monsters in its column.
Okay. So
So now position matters for this.
what
Yes.
it cannot be destroyed by card effects.
Yeah.
So if it takes
It can be
1800
destroyed by battle. Or it can be it can also be like sent back to
life
the hand.
depleted, but
Yeah.
not destroyed.
Exactly.
Okay, gotcha.
This kind of gets into the card lawyers thing where it's like, oh, it can't be destroyed, but if it's banished, that's a different thing.
Gotcha. Okay.
But the thing I like about this is, you're basically showing like, hey, this is my team, as if it was like you're playing a tag team fighter. It's like you can see what their tag is, and also these are the inputs.
Right.
These are the inputs to get their effects. So you have your like motion inputs.
Does your second character have to be revealed when you pull them out, or can you put them?
You just reveal them. You just go, hey, here's the guy, and then you just put it back in your hand.
Okay.
But yeah, so it's like you have Pantera. Like this deck's like crazy, different types in the same way that like Blaze Blue is like, oh, you have like a tank that you fight.
See how you commit to a leopard girl there?
Yeah.
Fucking no horse cowardice.
Can you not?
All right,
We're already
early.
getting
We're a little
getting
early.
ahead
Oh my
of
God.
things. But
Don't
yeah.
talk shit about
Bloody
horse
roar.
girl.
There's a nose and a tail, and there's spots. It's not just throwing little ears on it.
But yeah, so
right.
so you have like these are like the ones you can just normal summon, and then you have Borger.
What a
Just
name.
a big cyborg. Yeah, that's what I was like. This is the most like Japan just kind of came up with the name, and the localizers are like,
Fucking,
sure.
what in the Ramlethal like eat Borger?
Yeah, eat
okay,
Borger,
all right.
and-
Is that a taker or something with the?
It could be a Tager.
Yeah.
Yeah. And so yeah, this is one of the ones that you can just like swap out with. You can literally go, hey, there's a Vanquish Soul on field. I put him back in my hand and I swap him in.
And that's a free swap.
Yeah,
It has
and
a
you can
cost,
do
so-
it at a quick effect speed. If you see here it says quick effect.
Yeah.
That means you can do it at any point where like you are open to make an action.
Oh, like
So
an
if your
instance.
opponent does something, you can go, I'm gonna do this. I'm gonna activate
But it doesn't
this.
spend your turn.
No.
Okay.
No. This is just like an effect that you can do at any time.
Cool.
And you can do it kind of proactively. Like if I play Raisin earlier and I activate its effect and they try to go, okay, I'm going to target that monster for, like, I'm going to try to destroy them. I can then swap him out and put Borger on field, and I basically dodge the destruction.
Okay.
Because they're basically trading
It's
places.
hard tag. Yeah.
And because
Or-
they have to target it, Raisin is not on the field anymore.
Okay.
And then this is kind of like your big boss guy.
Yeah.
That's the Susano.
Susano,
Yeah.
100%. Valius. When you put a card in defensive position and then it
Yeah.
gets flipped, and you can see it now.
Yeah.
Can you play it can you attack with that still, or is it still just in defensive?
On your turn, you could then put it in face. You can
rotate it to start
rotate them.
attacking.
You can put them in attack and defense position as you want.
Anytime?
They're not locked. During your turn.
Well, yeah, sorry. Yeah. So, and if it's in attack position, you can flip it to defensive.
Only once per turn.
Okay.
Only once per turn.
Okay.
But yeah, so those are like the main players, and then the rest of the deck you kind of fill it with like stuff to like kind of fill in the the holes. This is one of the other cards of the deck that like also kind of give the game away. Literally a versus screen.
Right. Now these cards all like I saw like eight level, so that means
Yeah.
sacrificing 4 cards to get that on the field.
Hypothetically, if you were to summon it normally, but this guy also has the tag effect, so you're swapping.
You're
them
not
around.
supposed to sacrifice.
Very rarely in
Gotcha,
modern
gotcha.
Yu-Gi-Oh are you actually tributing to get big guys on field. Usually, you have ways to cheat them on the field. So
Okay.
you're kind of skirting around that.
Okay.
And then
Sacrifice
the other
2?
card.
It not 1 per level over 3.
No, it's 5 and 6 require 1 tribute. Anything above that is 2.
Okay.
Yeah. And then the one last guy in this archetype that's worth showing is Rock the Vanquisher. He is a link, so he just requires 1 Vanquish Soul to get him from the extra deck onto the field. We can talk a little bit more about links in specific as we go, but basically, the thing that I always was knocked by when I started playing this deck, I was like, why is this guy not called Vanquish Soul like in his name? Because there's certain effects that are triggered by like having Vanquish Souls on field or protection for Vanquish Soul specifically, but it's like, why not this thing? And then I realized, oh, this is your stage. This is the stage for the fighting game.
Oh.
And I was like, oh, and then when I figured that out, I was like, oh, this makes way more sense.
Okay.
You don't fight with this guy. This is literally just like a thing to help you get guys on field. Like, he is not there for battle. It's just
Okay, this
like-
is not not a monster to summon.
it is a monster, but you don't play him for the sake of like fighting. He is just like a combo facilitator.
Okay. While you control a Vanquish Soul monster, your opponent's monsters can only target monsters you control with the highest attack. During its main phase, a quick effect, you can activate one of these. Special summon 1 from your hand to Vanquish Soul, or add 1 monster from your graveyard to
Yeah.
your hand?
Yeah.
Okay, and this doesn't have a life bar either.
No, it just has attack. But if this is the only thing on field, the attack, it has 0. They
Okay.
might as well be attacking.
I still don't fully get it, but I kind of get it.
Okay.
The reference is cool, but in terms of how the card
it
actually
does,
works,
I'll show it to you. I'll show you just like the basic play of it.
Cool concept,
And you
though,
can kind of get a feel for what it's kind of going for. I'll go first because it doesn't matter. I'm playing against a robot.
Bots.
Ooh,
Nice,
got some shiny
covers.
back. Yeah.
Yeah.
Nice sleeves.
And is that character from anything, or is that
This
just an
guy?
original character? Yeah.
So this is I can show you him later. This is actually the quote unquote Dante base character.
Okay.
This guy's kind of seen as being like, oh, they're referencing Devil May Cry.
Is he a monster from the game, or is
Yeah.
he from the anime? Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. This game doesn't really reference the anime all that much outside
Gotcha.
of very specific things. But yeah, I don't really have anything to play because I really want to see Raisin in the opener. But I do have a Pot of Greed
I
type
see
card.
Pot
Yeah.
of extravagance.
So basically, I just like randomly just start sending shit from my extra deck just to draw.
Pot
two.
of extravagance.
Yeah. This is a really awkward hand, so I'm gonna have to do something that I really don't want to.
And the decisions begin.
Yeah, this is one of those openers where it's like, damn, I do not have anything to get going. Because these are all cards that basically need something else on field to get going. So sometimes you just get those hands where it's like,
Can you
this
mulligan?
is not doing anything. No, that is the tough thing with this game is there's no mulligan. So
see.
sometimes you open and just go, that
Damn.
was the hand that God gave me. It's like, I guess. If I was playing against an actual person in ranked, it would be a decision of like, do I just scoop?
Yeah,
'Cause
scoop.
this does nothing.
Scoop is give up.
But yeah,
Yeah,
it's
you
just
take all your
like,
cards.
I'm just like,
All right.
we're done. In the physical card game, it's best of 3. So you just go, okay, we go to game 2. It's best of 1 in this. So if you scoop, it's like, okay, I surrender. I'm just gonna go to another game. But yeah, so I just set a card just to like get something on field, and I'm just gonna pass to the opponent to see what they do.
So in this game, rage quitting is accepted.
Yeah. Yeah. Oh, in the physical card game, quitting sometimes is the strategic move, because if your opponent does a crazy setup that you know, like mathematically, you will not be able to do anything against, you just go, I'm just going to scoop and we'll just go to the next game, and then you have the knowledge of what they're playing, but they don't know what you're playing, so it's harder for them to...
Scooping is a valid form of forfeit. That is just literally just like, okay, I forfeit this whole match.
Yes.
Listen, we're done. Okay.
Yeah, it's not like being like...
And you don't force them to see more of your hand as you play out
Exactly.
the match.
But that's more of like a TCG thing. You don't really see that as much in ranked for here.
That's how you defeat the child.
Exactly.
Gotcha.
So this is basically just a card I'm playing just to get Raisin to my hand. That's like the whole thing that this equip card does. And now we can actually get moving. So I summon Raisin. I get... I basically want to see what attributes I have in hand. Yeah, I have the whole suite. So basically I just want to get Borger. From here...
I don't know how you're feeling about this, Willie. It's like, I feel like it's like, you got 40 cards, and it's like, okay, what does this card do?
You're not,
Read.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Huh, what does this card do?
you're not asking questions, so I'm taking your silence for confidence.
I'm telling you.
But I am completely like...
If you have any questions, like, feel free. Like, I will happily answer.
What's a BNB?
Yeah.
I mean, literally, I have all of them,
All right,
to
yeah.
be honest.
First of all, you need to
And-
draw your BNB,
Yeah.
right?
So this, what happens is, because this is a video game and not a real card game, you can only click on certain things and
That are
slot
valid
them into certain
actions.
places. Therefore, I'm just going to rely
Yeah.
on that.
Yeah. But like, as you see, like, some are blue and some are yellow. That basically is, like, giving you, like, validity to, like, you can play them.
Yeah. Like, I'm still going, like, okay, the brown cards are your monsters and the green one is your spell.
Yeah.
And I forgot what color trap card was.
Purple.
Okay.
I see arrows on the cards.
Yeah, so that's a specific thing with links. You probably won't encounter this in the game, in your experience. Basically, links have this weird thing where if you play a link monster and then you want to play another one, they have to make a chain.
Okay.
They have to follow, like, if I played another link monster under this
Makes
guy,
sense.
it has to be in the position, like, underneath him.
I just remembered another thing from the tutorial. It's a humongous question. What are the 2 spaces in the middle of the board?
That is where link monsters go.
Only
Link
that type
monsters.
of monster.
Yeah, links are a very weird card design that came up eons ago. Where, how do I phrase this? they were trying to slow down the game theoretically. So initially when they introduced links, which are the most recent addition to the card pool, it was under the impression that any extra deck card had to either go here in this spot or it had to follow a link arrow. And then that kind of like kept people from just spamming the board like crazy with extra deck monsters. And then Konami basically got feedback that players really didn't like being kneecapped like that because it basically killed a lot of creativity. It forced very specific decks to work and others just didn't play. So then they just said, fuck it. Like, just play however you want, but links have to follow this still rule. They still have to kind of exist within this specific rule set.
Okay.
So there's 2 link squares?
Yeah, so one's mine and one's
one's
my
the other.
opponent's.
Got it.
Yeah. So if I'm taking up this one, I can't just like take that one and be like, you can't
you
play,
can't do links. Okay, yeah.
Like, it's like, nah, like, you know, you both get your share. So basically I'm just doing like combo just to get things going. I'm summoning Borger, draw a card, and then I could hear Woolie just like, yeah.
They really called it Borger.
Yeah, they really called it Borger.
All right.
Cut everything I need. So yeah, so basically I'm just gonna get Caesar on field as soon as possible because this guy just gets to pop cards.
Animation.
Holy crap.
Yeah.
Oh,
he's
well,
the big
okay,
boss
not
guy.
really, no. It was,
Yeah, you get like a whoa, and then you hear the music change.
yeah.
That's
yeah.
hype.
It was vector animation, but all right.
So yeah, I'm doing his input for destroying a card on field. So I just have to show my team of like, yeah, I got the whole squad. And then a lot of the time you just want to like, yeah, they literally like baited me, but usually you want to get rid of back row because it might be something. Otherwise you just go, okay.
Okay, but you have completed your deck's like setup.
Basic setup, and I can do more theoretically if I really want to pop off. Like, because I showed something, I can play Xiaolong. I can get this guy on field.
Do you net deck your setups or?
Mix of net deck, and then I kind of play with ratios. I just kind of use it a lot of the time as like a base skeleton.
Guide, yeah, okay.
And then I kind of play around and see kind of how I feel about it.
Gotcha.
But yeah, that's enough of like a combo setup to just get rolling. This is kind of a mid-rangey deck. You can pop off, but a lot of the time you just start kind of putting your opponent in a situation where it's like, okay, I'm kind of out-advantaging you, and then we keep moving. And that's pretty much everything.
There are never like every card that's ever come out is valid in the game.
Outside
right?
of the ban list. There is a ban list where they say you can't play this card at all, or you can only play 1 copy or 2 copy.
But they don't do like only the most recent.
They don't do rotation.
Rotation.
They don't do
Yeah,
rotation.
yeah. Okay.
Yeah, that is one thing that people do like about Yu-Gi-Oh, but some find frustrating because the power creep keeps getting incrementally higher because there's no like, hey, stop making cards.
Yeah,
So-
well, no, because that is absolute horseshit marketing for just like if you're not paying attention, you can't play anymore.
But that's the thing is a lot of people. But I like my deck. Like I don't care if it got power crept. I want to play my deck, and also because of how Konami's designed it. Sometimes cards that you liked get suddenly good again. Like it's like, oh, they just made support for Blue Eyes. Suddenly, Blue Eyes is a top contender now.
Okay. Please explain why things are glowing differently and shining differently.
So, blue for monsters basically just means you can summon them or set them. Yellow basically means you can activate the effect.
Okay.
So if they have like a specific trigger, like
So those monsters have an effect you can trigger. You can use.
Yeah.
Okay. And then the second card that's also shiny is just a graphic.
which one?
The second card in your hand.
Vanquish of Dr. Matlow.
This one?
Literally the
that's
second card
one.
from the left.
The shiny on the second one, that one.
This one?
Yeah.
It's like
Oh, it's just a rarity thing.
It's just a rare
like
thing,
foil,
yeah,
foil.
okay.
Yeah.
ultra rare.
Yeah, it's just like you got the rare one. Thumbs up.
SR super rare, UR ultra rare.
Yeah, that's like the base rarity, and then they also can come in like a royal foil, and then they just look nice. Yeah. I think I can like literally like pull up my
Gloss.
So that's the one in my hand, and then I have 2 others that are
Regular,
just
yeah. Okay.
base form.
Not foil.
But yeah, more or less like this could be like wrapped up. I just do Caesar. And if they did something on their turn that I wanted to interrupt, I could do his effect on their turn, because it is once per turn, including my opponent's. So you use this like proactively to
Per
interrupt
turn.
them. Yeah. So a lot of these things that are quick effect, you are doing
Over and over
on
and over
their
again.
turn to proactively interrupt them.
Okay.
But I'm playing against a bot that's not really doing
Yeah, doing
anything. So it's just like, yeah, do the thing.
So he's dead.
yeah.
I just realized that the dude on the left morphed.
The what?
The dude on the left
Oh,
morphed.
yeah.
He double triggered.
Yeah. So like if it was like a more like high intensity game where I open better, you would really see like a very like quick interaction.
Yeah,
with
you had
that
the back
deck.
draw.
But it's a very like responsive deck. And it's currently like becoming top tier meta again because a bunch of support came out, but it's not in Mass Duel. yet.
Everyone starts with 8,000 HP every time?
Yep.
Okay.
Yep. Yeah. This is a game where life points don't matter until they do.
Okay.
Is basically the thought process. You will pay 7,000 life points to draw 2 if you could. But yeah, and then these are the solo gates, and they basically just like take different archetypes and make like a little story thing for them. Where's the... Oh, there it is. So this one has like 4 different chapters. This is like a whole ass saga. This is basically like they turned Xenoblade into a card game.
Okay, so each of these is like a visual novel kind of progression
Basically,
thing.
yeah. Like you can open like the ones that say scenario, just like go, here's the card lore.
And which currency do you have to spend to unlock these?
It's just currency you or earn through doing the solo gates. So you don't actually have to pay anything.
Oh, okay.
This is just something you can do just for fun.
Gotcha.
Yeah. The only thing you really have to spend money for is like accessories stuff and like the cards. But you can also earn that currency. But yeah, this is like midway through where like, you know, world's crumbling, battle is getting into high gear. and this is all just card art.
World of the Cards lore.
Yeah.
Yes.
Recently, actually, Konami has started deviating from making anime where the characters play cards, and have now started releasing anime shorts where they just adapt
the actual
card
world of the cards.
worlds, and then just tell those stories.
Okay. Is there a correct way to refer to both the difference between those things? Because of like
Just card lore.
card lore
And then just
card
anime.
worlds, I guess. Yeah. Okay. I see.
Yeah. So that's you can like just like watch the little stories unfold.
Nice.
I just
Did
wanted
it tell
to pick
you who broke Exodia's heart when he was young or something?
Exactly. Yeah, you can find out all about Exodia.
is that a
and-
thing?
I don't know. That's just saying
He's
bullshit,
just-
Wooly.
I'm just
Well,
yes,
why was he
I'm just
forbidden?
yes ending.
Yeah. Okay, so I saw someone say this is 99% card world card lore.
Yeah.
So like, what's that 1%? Is it like an
There's some
avatar
cards.
of like?
There's some cards that reference the anime in like a sense where it's like, oh, this is like, you see Yugi in one card art,
Okay.
but it's like, you know, you're not playing
A criminal's getting lit on fire.
Yeah.
Wait, what?
Hey!
Don't I'll show that. I was kind of waiting for it to come up. So this is
Those are
Rescue.
your named decks.
Yes, that is not the actual name.
Okay.
But they're called Rescue Ace. Race. Hey, you're the one that took the picture with Ed.
He did print the shirt.
Yeah, he did print the shirt. But yeah. So yeah, this is basically just like a firefighter archetype. You know, they all have their different effects. And the end
Can I
goal
look at that
is
art?
to get this guy.
Yeah. Nice.
And basically like the entire goal of this one is you want to get the fire truck on field.
Nice.
You want to get this guy on field.
Not enough cool firefighting games out there.
Exactly. And this is like a control deck because basically you get this guy on field,
Oh.
and then he is getting all of the different actions the firefighters are doing onto the field, so that then you can start making actions on your opponent's turn.
Last time you had 5 special extra deck cards. Now you have 15.
Yeah.
Is there a limit?
15 is the limit.
Okay.
So this is like the base. This like I'm filling it out as max as possible. With some exceptions, usually you want to max it out just because then you have a variety of options.
Can you play with less than 40 cards in your main deck?
40 is the minimum. 60 is the maximum.
But the more cards you put in the deck, the harder it is.
The less reliable. Yeah, that's the statistics
You're aiming
in every
for
card
statistic.
game.
Yeah, that's a big thing about deck building is you're often playing with the idea of consistency and how often you want to see something. That is a struggle a lot of returning players and like people that are like, oh, I played Blue Eyes when I was a kid and that was good, is they try to play everything at one under the assumption is like, well, if I play this card and I get this card, it makes this crazy combo. It's like, but how often are you seeing those two cards in your hand?
Exactly.
In a 40 card deck, it's like, how do you optimize that to make sure you see it?
Yeah,
So
if you learn about like deleting cards from your hand in Balatro, you can understand why you want to get things more consistently.
Exactly.
But I'm surprised so it gives you the option to put a ton in your hand on both sides.
Yeah.
But the minimum you can do is 40 main and 0 extra?
as in like minimum? Yeah, you can have 0 extra.
Because that computer you fought had
Yeah, you
no
can have
extras.
0 extra.
Okay.
You can have 0 extra.
Okay.
But a lot of the time you max it out just because you use it as a toolbox. Like even if the deck doesn't really have anything it wants to go into, sometimes you just have something as like, I could theoretically go into this in a situation where it comes up. But, you know, sometimes it really depends very to vary. The maximum amount of cards you can have in your deck for one copy is 3. And then obviously 1 is the minimum if you want to play a card. 3 is if you really want to see it. And then 2 is very corner case where it's like, frequency is variable.
So Teppen kind of had a similar thing to that, but you can't have less. Everyone had the same 30. Like you had to have the same number of cards each time. So if someone plays like 60, I imagine unless you have a particular type
you
of
have a particular deck.
Discards.
I have two funny things about like the deck sizes. One of them is 60, where there's a card called. Let me just select this so I can like literally just like open the.
Prohibido.
Yeah, so that's because I have something that's
Rugal.
I have something that I can't have. Oh, it's because I took something out, so I don't have it. So there was a card they printed a number of years ago called Grass is Greener.
Okay.
What is it? There we go. So this is kind of a fuck-ass card. If you have more cards in your deck than your opponent does, send cards from the top of your deck to the graveyard so you have the same number of cards as your opponent. So basically when this came out, people realized, oh, if I max out my deck and I play this, I get to mill, hypothetically, 20 cards. So they play decks where, like, milling is a huge advantage.
Milling.
Yeah, so you're basically just, like, getting rid of stuff off the top of your deck into the graveyard.
Okay.
And then basically there's cards that go, oh, if this was sent to the graveyard from your deck, do XYZ thing. And it became such a dominant strategy that everyone was playing 60 cards just so their opponent couldn't use this card.
Okay.
So whether you were using this card or not, you're just like, I'm just going to fill my deck just to keep my opponent off of this strategy.
Okay.
And the other story I have for this is, do you know why they set it to 40? Do you have any idea?
No.
So years ago, like early in the game's life, there wasn't really a minimum. There was nothing written in the rule books of a minimum or a maximum. Or no, there was a minimum. It was 40. There was no maximum. It was just like, whatever. Just play however. 2 guys went to an official Konami tournament.
I like the start of
with
that story.
A giant, 1,000 card deck. It was like in one of those long boxes, and there was like a photo you can find where they're walking and they have to have it along their shoulders, like they're carrying a giant 2x4,
like the graveyard, like the fucking the funeral carriers,
like a palm bearer.
Okay.
And they had a machine in place so they could shuffle it, but they were being such trolls about it that they just had a deck of cards that was all stuff that would require them to then shuffle their deck again.
Oh my god.
So they were just like,
Trolling.
because you have not set a rule in place for us, we are just going to be giant dickheads.
Okay. I was about to say, you're still gonna take damage and lose.
Yeah, they had no intention of winning. They just
But you can
wanted to
fuck
do a
up.
spectacle.
Yeah, gotcha.
And
Okay,
so it got back to Konami, and they're like, okay, we will set a minimum in place so that you guys don't do this.
That's why rules exist.
That's why rules exist. That's why we got to keep people of that ilk in check. So yeah, I have like a few other things. Cause what time do we got? 4:30. Yeah, we got it like a couple times, and then you guys can do your duel.
If your deck is empty, you lose.
If your deck is empty and you go to your draw phase and you're gonna draw, you lose.
Okay, yeah.
So it's not when you hit 0, it's when you try to draw at 0.
Cool.
Gotcha. Okay. I think.
Do we have
Yeah, okay.
our, pause break?
Yeah, let's take a quick
Okay.
break, and then we'll come back in with the next phase of Yu-Gi-Oh! 101. All right?
Yeah. 102.
Yeah, so we'll be back in a little bit.